welcome to my channel. Today we are exploring the lives of Roman slaves. Rome was a city of extremes. It was home to magnificent monuments that symbolized power, wealth, and glory, but also to people who toiled in obscurity for next to nothing. Rome's glittering empire hid a brutal secret. 1 in 3 people were slaves, more than half the population of the city. They came from all over the empire, including Rome itself. Slaves were an integral part of Roman society, working in every aspect of the economy, from mining and agriculture to manufacturing and domestic service. But what did their days look like? Let's find out. Meet Chris. He is one of the few slaves whose life story has been recorded for us. He was born into slavery in Athens, around 80 BC when he was just 7 years old. His mother, a former slave herself, bought his freedom with money she earned as a weaver. However, shortly after, she was taken captive by pirates and sold to a brothel in Rome. At this point, she had to resort to selling her son to a wealthy Roman family in order to pay off her debt. Croesus became a slave to a Roman senator at the age of 12. He worked as a gynek, a male servant responsible for taking care of women of the house, a job usually given to older male slaves. While living with this family, he befriended a freed woman named Pythias. Together they hatched a plan to escape Rome and traveled to Asia Minor, where Pythias had family waiting to take them in. The plan was for Crea to steal his master's seal ring, a symbol of authority and power, and use it to bribe the boat captain to get passage out of the city. But when Crea went to steal the ring, he was caught red-handed. His punishment, crucifixion. Before that, however, he managed to write down the whole story, which was later published as the most famous slave narrative from ancient Rome. On a regular day in the life of a slave, let's meet Titus. He is a young male slave working for a wealthy merchant in Rome. Titus wakes up before sunrise, as does everyone in the household, except his master, who likes to sleep in. After all, he owns the world. As a personal slave, Titus has the easiest job in the household. He shares a room with 2 other male slaves, Felix and Lucius. Both are field slaves from Germania, captured during one of the many wars with tribes beyond the Rhine. Their muscles are corded and scarred from years of hard work. Unlike them, Titus is an Italian slave, meaning he was born into slavery, a class apart from the foreign slaves, although not really better off. After washing himself with cold water, Titus puts on his tunic, the only piece of clothing he owns. The food situation for slaves is grim, to say the least. For breakfast, he gets a thin porridge made of flour and water. It lacks salt and tastes terrible, but it's still a luxury compared to the gruel some other slaves have to settle for. Porridge is eaten quickly, and the day starts early for a slave. First, he has to clean the house. As the sun rises higher, his master's wife and children wake up. He must prepare their breakfast, bring them water from the public bathhouse, and braid the little girl's hair. A slave has no rights, but some masters are kinder than others. Titus's mistress sometimes gives him grapes or figs, which he enjoys immensely because fruit is rare in Rome. Slaves rarely get to eat it. At noon, the entire household rests in the shade of the atrium. Titus takes the opportunity to chat with the cook about her childhood in Greece. She tells him about the temples filled with beautiful statues and the blue Aegean Sea. Suddenly, his master appears. He needs shoes for his afternoon chariot ride, and Titus must polish them to a shine. Shoes are made of leather, often hippo leather, which is extremely durable and used for chariot driving. Slaves work long and hard, from cleaning to cooking, carrying goods, and guarding the house. Masters demand a lot from them, and if a slave makes a mistake, he might be beaten or receive electric shocks from the Roman cat o' nine tails. Titus is careful. He knows where the whip is kept and avoids making mistakes. In the evening, dinner is served. It consists of bread, cheese, and olives. Sometimes there is fish. Afterwards, the family watches puppets putting on a show. It's called a puppet. There are different types of puppets, and they perform various scenes. They can be funny, but sometimes the stories they tell are sad and make Titus think of his mother. He remembers how she used to hum folk songs while braiding his hair. Now, he is too old for that, and his mother is gone. She died when Titus was just 9 years old. His father, who was a slave, disappeared when Titus was still a baby. He doesn't remember much about them, but he cherishes the memories. It's time for bed. Titus sleeps in the corner between Felix and Lucius. He misses his mother, but he also misses his freedom. He thinks about Greece, about the sea and the white houses. He misses the mountains of his homeland. Italy, where the soil is dry and the roads full of dust. Every year, on the anniversary of his mother's death, Titus escapes. He runs through the empty streets of Rome. He feels free. He turns back when he hears a dog barking. If someone sees him, shouts, "Stop thief," and the soldiers come running. It would be bad if they catch him. Let's meet another slave. He works in a quarry outside the city, hauling marble blocks. He is covered in dust and his arms and shoulders are scratched and bleeding. It's hard, dangerous work. Sometimes the blocks fall and crush people. He dreams of going to Athens, the capital of Greece, the birthplace of philosophy, democracy, and the arts. In Athens, the Parthenon gleams white against the azure sky. It is one of the greatest architectural achievements of the ancient world. What Athenodorus and his fellow slaves do and know is that the marble used to build it was quarried and transported by slaves just like them. Athenodorus came to Rome as a young man. He was captured in a war between Rome and Dacia. His village was destroyed and his family, he thinks, killed. As a slave, he had no choice but to work for the Roman Empire that had conquered him. He lives in a small shack made of mud and straw with other Dacians. All of them hate their masters and dream of returning home. To pass the time, they practice archery, their most important skill back home. One day, Athenodorus and his friend Tiberius decide to escape. It's a dangerous plan. They'll have to cross the Tiber River, go through the city, avoid the patrolling soldiers, and then flee across the mountains. They wait until night and sneak out of the camp. The moon is full and bright, so sneaking around isn't difficult. When they leave the main road and head into the hills, they feel free. For the first time since being captured, Athenodorus runs fast. He can hear the sound of the river behind him. Soon he will be home. Meanwhile, back in the camp, the slave owner goes to check on his slaves. Some of them didn't come back from work and he suspects they escaped. He tells his guards to get ready and follow the slaves. They found their backpacks and weapons and left the camp without telling anyone. The escapees have almost reached the river when they hear horses thundering behind them. The soldiers are catching up to them. Afraid of being captured, Athenodorus pushes Tiberius and he falls. The soldier approaches him. Athenodorus takes his dagger out and stabs him. The soldier screams and falls. Athenodorus takes off running. He can hear gunshots and the shouts of soldiers behind him. He will never see Tiberius again. The soldier was just a pawn in a brutal game where slaves could expect no mercy and freedom was just a fantasy. Now it's your turn. How do you think life was for slaves in ancient Rome? Let me know in the comments section below. And before you go, give this video a thumbs up. See you next time.